Hello, my J's Alwa Types of Review for episode 37, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blood Orphans. That episode is Battle for Chris. And so this episode really highlighted Orga as not only just a character, but as a leader. And it was interesting to look at that because the way this second season started was really what I wanted the series to focus on for the character of Orga. He's now taken on a more organizational sort of role, a more leadership sort of role. And we're finally seeing that here in this episode where he's sort of running out of options. All the things aren't really working out for the plan to take out the mobile armor. They want to separate the mobile armor from the Plumas. And that whole big plan has always been had its road bumps here and there. EOK definitely plays a part in that. Many different other factors play a part in that as well. They introduced this interesting story element where the Gundam frames, they sort of malfunction wherever they're around the mobile armors, and it sort of results into a very similar situation that Mikazuki was in the battle in Edmonton, where he pretty much had his injuries that he has now, and his arm and his other parts of his body that are sort of permanently paralyzed unless he's in Barbatos. And we have a very similar situation to that. That's why Orga doesn't really want to risk Mikazuki out in the battle once again. However, that doesn't really end up being the case since Mika is always so loyal to Orga. Even without Orga's orders, he still wants to dedicate his own life for his, because Orga helped give him his own life. So he feels a debt to repay no matter what. It's a very interesting look at their relationship. Also, Orga as a leader as well. We did get the introduction of Flaros in this episode. Really badass entrance. Very nice shots of that mobile frame there. Also with Shino piloting this Gundam frame of Takaki in the cockpit as well. And so they're both crumbled in inside the cockpit. So it was really cute seeing them both there inside. And so the Flaros, it wasn't really meant for a battle, one-on-one battle with the mobile armor. It just transformed into this other missile launcher. Really cool transformation sequence there to take out a cliffside so they can't separate the mobile armor from the Plumas. And so that's where Eugene and his team take on the Plumas, and it leaves the other mobile suits with McGillis and his aide taking on the mobile armor. Julieta is there as well to get the order of the 7 stars for Rustiel, and that's where Mika makes his grand entrance with a very interesting look for Barbatos, a very demon sort of look with the red eye, and even Mika, his eye starting to bleed as well, really pushing Barbatos to its limits. And so definitely permanent damage will come for Mika. Will that mean death though? Definitely a lot of death flags have been raised for Mika throughout these past couple of episodes involving him, and so a very interesting look at that. Will it be more permanent damage that he's going to suffer? Maybe another arm, maybe he'll be blind in one eye, wearing an eye patch. Perhaps we can see eye patch Mika coming up, or will result in permanent death. And definitely Orga will have to deal with those consequences either way, depending on what happens to Mika. And so definitely Orga, he's running out of options. He's always trying to figure out something to not only raise the stock for Tekkadan, but also protecting his friends and his workers as well. And so that's really fine balance that Orga has to find, because if he does ask McGillis and that Galahorn group for help, that's definitely going to lower down Tekkadan's stock as a king of Mars, because it's going to show that Tekkadan is always relying on Galahorn, or just relying on someone else to solve their problems, and Tekkadan has to deal with this with themselves. That's what Orga has to deal with. So very interesting contrast there for Orga. Really nice to look at his mindset and really just figuring out what he has to do to get the best of both worlds. So really solid episode here. I mean, the minor negatives for this episode was that Vidar, he did fight McGillis. He kind of just was called back by Julieta as he's trying to watch over Eok, who once again, with his ignorance and through his lifestyle, this ignorance really just shows out for himself. I understand, parts of his character, why he's acting like this, and so Julieta has to restrain him with the help of Vidar as well. But he does make a comment towards McGillis, which is very interesting, saying that he's using the same mobile suits that he killed Karta issue with, and so definitely McGillis has an idea of who this character is in Vidar. And also another negative was with the small scene that's was shared between Atra and Kudelia, where they're both saying that they like Mika and that they like each other as well. It kind of just was a mute point for me because it didn't really play into anything else after that. It just seemed a scene where we need these two characters in there and to sort of waste time for this episode. It really felt unnecessary to me to add that little scene there between these two characters. For me, I know it adds more stakes for coming out, especially for Mika and his death flags coming out. So I think that's the only reason I can see why they added that scene there between those two characters, rather than that really did add more for the episode, just add more for future moments that are coming up for possibly the next episode coming up. And so for rating for this episode, giving this one a 4 out of 5, solid episode overall, really just progressing this story elements for the mobile armor, adding more conflicts within there, the Gundam frames being useless, Akihiro locked unconscious, other things that are going on with Flaros being introduced was really cool. Vidar, McGillis, obviously I'm assuming they're going to have another matchup coming up, another face-to-face confrontation, maybe some more dialogue between them, where McGillis is trying to decipher who this guy is, or he already has an idea of who he is. I'm assuming it's the latter of that point there, and so very curious to see what's going to happen next with all these different story elements. Orga developing as a leader, Mika and his future developments, whether he's going to be permanently paralyzed in another part of his body, or he's going to suffer permanent death. And so put down your thoughts on this episode in the comment section down below. Also forget to like, share, and subscribe as well. Thank you for watching our review for episode 37, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. The episode is Battle for Chris. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.